of jazz. No, it's CSL Toronto. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to have you get up on your feet. Let's welcome Raquel and let's get happy. Woo.
1, 2.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon, I can float to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness means to you, yeah. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Come here, brand news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. You know what? I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. Don't think to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy and alone. If you feel like a room without a roof, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
Because I'm happy.
Clap along if you know what happiness means to you, yeah. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Say, bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. My love is too high to bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. Say it, bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. My love is too high to bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. No. Yes. Come on, put your hands together. If you're feeling happy this morning, put your hands together. Oh, yeah. Say, because I'm happy, clap along. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I'm happy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Say, oh, you know I'm happy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Said I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy, yeah. Say, bring me down. Okay, no, no, no. I'm happy, no, no. Yeah, say, yeah. Oh, say, bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. My love is too high to bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down because I'm happy. Oh, yeah.
Now that's a way to start off a Sunday morning. Woo! Woo-hoo! Thank you, Raquel. Now, Raquel also has a new CD. It's out in the lobby, and you can purchase it today. So, and you get more of her all morning. And I was FaceTiming and Instagramming and Facebooking this morning. And people are going, who is this amazingly talented woman? Whew. So thank you for that. And welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Toronto's hub for living well. I'm going to catch my breath. I'm Helen Vello, the spiritual director. Welcome to anyone who's new here for the first time. Thank you for being here with us. And we offer a space and tools and support for you to live a fulfilling life. We believe that all people from every walk of life, religion, and race are beautiful, powerful, creative individualizations of this one intelligent, loving energy of universal consciousness. We believe in the unity of all life. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. And we come together on a Sunday to be in community, to honor and recognize this power for good that is within each and every one of us. And so, again, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. And with that, I am going to ask Kim to switch over to announcements. We have next Saturday, Carrie is offering a brilliant workshop on happiness. And with that, you get to know 3 secrets everyone should know about laughter, a custom-made essential oil roller, and a mindful practice that enhances every meal, and techniques that reduce stress in the moment. And don't you want that? Yes. And you also get to learn some sexy dance moves, Latin dance moves, and a chance to win a $200 self-care kit. Now, this workshop is taking place upstairs. If you're thinking about coming, and a lot of you have a little flyer about Carrie's workshop in your program, please go and sign up at the Live Well store. You can also sign up online. It is great for Carrie to know ahead of time how many people are planning to attend. I'm already registered. So join me. It'll be a fun Saturday. Now, also on Sunday, August 12th, that's next Sunday, we have 6 fairly recently licensed practitioners, like some about a year ago, and a few months ago. So we are going to honor and celebrate them next Sunday. So please be here for that. Also, our home group sign up is between September 2nd and September 9th. Home groups is where community happens. There is a knitting home group. There is an entrepreneur's home group, a book club home group, a men's group home group. There will be a women's group home group for you to sign up. And there is a Signs of Mind online home group. And then, of course, there's the Northern Lights home group. But I don't know if you want to sign up for that because that takes place way up north in Sudbury. But that's also happening. So great place to get to know people and to feel part of a community. So the onboarding for that will take place between the 2nd and the 9th. Now, I'm also going to present a heart math workshop. Add heart wherever you go and learn how to build your resilience and deal with stress. And that's on Sunday, September 9th from 1 to 3 p.m. That will be upstairs. We have Spiritual Cinema, our Heal documentary premiere. I think it's the first time it's showing in Toronto. Will be held upstairs on Sunday, September 23rd. And check out all our products, our great products in the Live Well store. So, with that, I am going to hand it back over to Raquel for our invocation song.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, but you can't find the fighter. But I see it in you, and we're gonna walk it out and move mountains. Yes, we will together move mountains. Said I'll rise up high like the day. I'll rise up, oh, unafraid. I'll rise, and I'll do it 1,000 times. Yes. Said I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the ache, I'll rise. I'll do it 1,000 times, and I'll be doing it for you, for you, oh, for you. I'll do it for you. Oh. The silence isn't quiet, and it seems like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise you together we'll bring the world to its feet, and we'll move all those mountains. Yes, we will together. It's possible. We'll move all those mountains. Said I'll rise up high like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise, and I'll do it 1,000 times. Oh, I'll do it for you and you and you. Oh, I'll do it for you. Said I'll rise. Yes. All we need is love. Yes, and for that we have each other. Oh, yes, we have each other. We will rise. No matter what you're going through, you can rise. Oh, yes, you can. So I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. Oh, unafraid, and I'll rise. 1,000 times. Yes, said I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise. Yes, yes, and you will too. Yeah. Said I'll rise up high like the day. I'll rise. Oh, unafraid, I'll rise. Yes, said I'll rise. Oh, said I'll rise. I'm not giving up on you. Don't give up on me. I'll rise. And together we will change this whole world.
Woo! Breathe that in. Oh. Breathe it in. As we breathe into the life that cannot withhold itself from each one of us, we rise up to live a life that we can enjoy. A life of spirit is perfect and eternal and manifests through itself, through us to the degree that we allow it. Let us breathe into our hearts. Let us open our minds and be in this place of surrender and allowing. Breathe in. let us know the fullness of life, the infinite riches, the vitality, the wisdom, and the peace. For as we breathe into our hearts, there is a secret place within that is ready to reveal the fullness of life in this very moment. Let us accept life as a glorious experience, a spiritual adventure, an adventure that is filled with enjoyment, that is filled with light each and every day. In gratitude for knowing that as my word is spoken, it is already done. It is already done. So let's allow this beautiful energy to rise up within us and to flow through us as light and love. And so it is. And with that, we're going to sing This Little Light of Mine. So I invite you to stand up. And yes, we have the words up on the screen, and they're in your program as well.
All right, let's celebrate. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, yes, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, yeah, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Say, all around my home, oh, yes, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, all around my home, say, I'm gonna let it shine. All around my home, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Say, I'm not gonna hide, no, I'm not gonna hide, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, I'm not gonna hide, no, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm not gonna hide, no, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Say, this little light of mine, this little light of mine, yes, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, yes, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yes, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Are you gonna let it shine? Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Okay, well, if you were trying to follow the words on the screen or in your program, like, no, follow the vocalist.
Just follow your heart.
Ah, I have the pleasure of inviting up one of the newly licensed practitioners. I'm so happy for Nick and for Lori, who passed their exams a couple of months ago, a month ago, 4 weeks ago. And we get to honor them all next week. But today we get to hear some beautiful wise words from Nick Maselli. So come on up.
So the theme this month is Say Yes to Change. I'm going to start with a quote from Ernest Holmes on the subject of change. Creation means the giving of form to the substance of mind or spirit. Spirit being all and only, there's nothing for it to change into but itself. Therefore, it is the changeless, within which must take place all change or manifestation of itself. So this is a theme in Ernest Holmes' writing, that behind all the changes that we experience and live through and see in the world and see in our lives, there's a constant, an unchanging law, and a universal mind that gives power to that law. And the creative process is that we can bring intention together with our strongest and deepest feelings and make that law work for us. This is a wonderful thing that I've learned over lots of years, and it's really energized me and given me something I can always go back to. I wanted to talk about all the roles I've played, all the hats I've worn in my life, and it's been very varied, but there's been a constant factor behind it all, I would say, just as Holmes suggested. When I was in high school, I was going to go to university and study sciences, and the big choice I had to make was I going to apply to medical school or was I going to become a computer programmer? I was being pulled by both of my parents in different directions, and I don't think I knew at that time in my life that I had a free choice of my own. So that was another lesson that's taken me a long time to learn and another change in my life. I wound up not doing either of those, but I came pretty close to both. I became a biostatistician, and I worked at the Princess Margaret Hospital and made reports for clinical researchers and pathology researchers that they used to write scientific papers. And I actually got named as a co-author on quite a few of the papers that I consulted on. So that was a really good accomplishment. But at that time in my life, good accomplishments like that didn't lift my sense of self and make me love myself. I've found out also over a long time that I had to just decide to do that myself, and I always felt like I had to be perfect, and of course I never was. So that's another theme and another transformation I've personally gone through. But I decided to shake up my life at some point. Again, I'd say not very consciously. I didn't think about why I wanted to make a big change, but I quit my job as a statistician and went to the naturopathic college. That turned out to be one of the lowest times in my life. I got expelled after I put a lot of effort and a lot of commitment, as well as time and money, into the program, and I was really demoralized and wondering where I was going to go next, and playing around with this thought for years. So another thing I've learned is to let go of something, and the course I'm taking on the 4 agreements to not take anything personally would have been a good thing to know back then. But the universe creates perfectly, and that awful demoralizing experience was one of the most transformative things I've gone through. In the years that followed, I started to connect with myself and really know myself and express myself and bring and show the world who I truly was and connect with people. That was one of the great transformations I got, learning to listen and really get on a wavelength with people. So that was an incredible catalyst, and that's what change looks like too sometimes. So I'm going to jump ahead to my recent practitioner oral one of the questions that I knew was coming and I was prepared for it was, how are you going to define your ministry as a practitioner? And what came to me was, gotten very involved in arts communities. I'm a storyteller, a poet, a singer, and I said, my ministry as a practitioner really has to include that. And one of the questions I'm asking myself now is, how did I go from a biostatistician to a poet and storyteller? That's but the common theme there is that I love ideas that can enrich people. I want to share them. I see myself as a healer and a teacher, and all the things I've done have had that common theme in them. So that's what Ernest Holmes was talking about. And my thought that I leave for you is, what are the common themes in your own life? It's a really good question to ask, and you can gain a lot of insight by asking the question. So I'm going to offer an affirmation. The affirmation is up there on the screen. I'm going to read it once, and then after that you can follow along with me. I embrace change and challenge with love and compassion for myself and others. Now repeat with me. I embrace change and challenge with love and compassion for myself and others. And again, I embrace change and challenge with love and compassion for myself and others. And now I invite everyone to get present in this moment. I recognize the infinite, loving, creative power of the one mind, the perfect source of all events, all changes, all relationships. They all come from the one universal mind. I am the perfect expression of divine love and divine creativity, and everyone here is the perfect expression of divine love. Every one of us brings our own intention to create the world of our choice. Every one of us is able to respond to whatever comes our way in all the transformations that life brings us, knowing that divine creation is perfect. I'm grateful for this wonderful perfection in all of creation. I'm grateful for all the changes that come my way, all the transformations that I've gone through, that I've watched everyone else go through. This is the truth. Perfect transformation, perfect change in the mind of a loving Creator. I release the word to the law with confidence, with peace. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
Beautiful, Nick. Thank you. Thank you. I will say, I have witnessed Nick walk the journey of changes over the last year, that is why he passed his practitioner panel with such glowing results, because he has embraced more change and more transformation and done so much incredible work on himself. So congratulations, and get to celebrate you all next week. Yay! So this is an original. Oh, most of you are familiar with the Ho'oponopono prayer. Wait until you hear this original by Raquel. Take it away.
Every day when I I wonder if today will be the day that you release me. I don't know how to close this door by myself. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, but I need your help. I'm in so much pain, I need you to come and say these words. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, yes, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Oh, thank you, said I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Oh, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Oh, thank you. Every night I lie awake with this guilt and shame. Oh, baby, this heartache I made. But you see, I'm in bondage to my past, and I don't know how to break free. Everything I've done to you, baby, it was already done to me. You see, I want to set you free, but until that day, I'll say these words. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, yes, said I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Oh, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Oh, thank you, said I love you, I'm sorry, please, please forgive me. Thank you. So many years have gone by, holding on to this pain. We've been passing down our hurts, leaving us standing in so much shame. But the time has come for all this hurting to end, and to create a new earth, a place that we can call home. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Oh, thank you, said I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Oh, thank you, said I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Oh, thank you, said I love you, I'm sorry, please, please forgive me. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, is an ancient Hawaiian prayer that has healed so many people in the world. And you can look it up online to just really understand the power of that. And if you take one thing away today, aside from a few nuggets in my talk, take away that you can take this prayer with you and you can use it for yourself. You can use it for anybody you have a rub with. And it is truly miraculous how the energy changes the next time you see that person. It's amazing. And I hope that's on your CD. Oh my God, get the CD and just listen to it over and over again. I'm in. Fantastic. So beautiful. Thank you. And I'm trying to figure out, because now I have a funny story. I'm trying to move from that beautiful, beautiful song. Because our theme this month is Say Yes to Change. And for those of you who know me, I love change. Probably some of you were scared going, what is she going to change up today? Just a few over there. Well, I have actually a little parable I'm going to start with. Oh, I did change the music stand, though. Wait, so I stand out, yeah. Once upon a time, a daughter complained to her father that her life was miserable and she didn't know how she was going to make it. She was tired of fighting and struggling all the time, and it seemed just one problem was solved, there was another one that followed. So her father, being a chef, took her into the kitchen. He filled 3 pots with water and placed each on high heat. Once the 3 pots began to boil, he placed potatoes in one pot. He placed eggs in the second pot. He placed ground coffee beans in the third pot. And then he let them sit and boil without saying a word to his daughter. I would have loved to have been in the room for that. And the daughter moaned and impatiently waited, wondering what the heck was he doing. After 20 minutes, he turned off the burners. He took the potatoes out of the pot, placed them in a bowl. He pulled the boiled eggs out of the pot, placed them in a bowl, and then he ladled coffee out of the third pot and placed it in a cup. Turning to his daughter, he said, "What do you see?" "Potatoes, eggs, and coffee," she replied. "Look closer and touch the potatoes." She did and noted that they were soft. Then he asked her to take an egg and break it. And after pulling off the shell, she observed the hard-boiled egg. And finally he said, "Sip that coffee." Its rich aroma brought a smile to her face. She's like, "Dad," I think that's the millennial way, "Dad, what is this all about?" And then he explained that the potatoes, eggs, and coffee beans had each faced the same adversity, the boiling water. However, each one reacted differently. The potato went in strong and hard and unrelenting, but in boiled water, it became soft and weak. The egg was fragile, with the thin outer shell protecting it. And as a result of being in the water, boiling water, the inside of the egg became hard. However, the coffee beans were unique. After they were exposed to the boiling water, they changed the water and created something new. "So which are you?" he asked his daughter. "When adversity knocks at your door, how do you respond? Are you a potato? You get all mushy. Or are you an egg and you get all hardened up? Or are you a coffee bean and you create something new with the adversity?" So the moral of this little parable is, in life, things happen all around us. And things happen to us all the time, and we're always facing adversity. The world is changing faster and faster and faster. But what truly matters is what happens within us. So, are you a potato? Are you an egg? Or are you a coffee bean? I'll let you answer that to yourself. Because the world is changing all around us. How many of you believe in the idea that your thoughts create your reality and that they have some effect in your life? Believe that? Yeah, okay. So let me ask you this question. How many of you woke up this morning and consciously created a future? Yay, I see 2.5 hands. Three. I got 4. I got 5. All right. Because if you knew on a gut level that your thoughts created your reality, would you ever miss a day to create your reality? No. Do you know that we think 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day? And 90% of your thoughts are repeated day after day. The same thought always leads to the same choices. And the same choices will create the same behaviors in us. And the same behaviors will create the same experiences. And guess what? The same experiences create the same emotions. Again and again, because then those same emotions will create the same thoughts that you have been thinking all your life, which create the same choices, which create the same behaviors, which create the same experiences, which create the same emotions, which again drive the same thoughts over and over and over again, and it's Groundhog Day once again. You keep living the same reality over and over and over again until we change our thoughts. But you know what? Our biology, our genetics, our physiology will always be dictated by the neurons that have fired together in our brains, that then wire together. Neuroplasticity 101. That then create the pattern of how you show up in your life, which then creates how you act, how you think, how you feel, which is your personality. And don't you think we ought to say yes to some change? Yes. Because if you keep thinking the same way every day, making the same choices, you are forcing your brain to fire in the same sequence every single day, and you've hardwired your brain to a finite way of being. Yuck. Boring. Boring for me, anyways. Boring. You know when somebody says, oh, that's just the way that person is? Yes, it is. And it's tragic. It's so tragic because they've locked themselves in that box and stopped evolving in consciousness. How many of you know people that have the same routine every day? How many of you have the same routine every day? From the moment you get up out of bed. Not naming any names. Yeah, and how many of you can predict what's going to come out of someone's mouth because it's the same thing every time in a similar situation? So William James said, the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering the attitudes of their mind. And Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Change your thoughts, change your life. And the reason to change your point of view is so that you can grow and develop and evolve. You can't grow if you're hanging on to the status quo. And so when I say yes to change, I'm saying, I won't change the environment this week. I'm not saying yes to change out there. I'm saying yes to change in your mind, because that's where it starts. It all starts with our mind. To change our view means to change our mind, your thoughts and beliefs, and about how you are experiencing the world. So, there's a woman named Carol Dweck who has a book called Mindset. And she argues that beliefs about the self and the world not only contribute to and change personality, they underlie all of our adaptive functioning. Our adaptive functioning in our workplace, in relationships, in how we go about our day. And her research shows that people have two mindsets about self-theories. There's a fixed one, unchangeable mindset, and there's a growth, a malleable mindset. And so she says people with a malleable mindset value learning, they value growth, they engage in increased effort and strategies for change, and most importantly, they are resilient. And resiliency means the ability to bounce back from adversity. When we are stuck in those tough times, and instead of getting sucked into them and spiraling down, we can go, oh, okay, what do I need to shift in my own consciousness so that I can bounce back step by step, little bit by little bit, and deal with this in a really healthy, loving, constructive manner. Because we can't control what's around us. God knows I've tried. It doesn't happen. No, but you can control your point of view. And you can control whether you get emotionally hijacked by something, and you can also control whether that you're actually going to buy in to somebody else's belief system about what's going on. Because you don't have to buy into the news and the doom and the gloom. You can come back into yourself and go, wait a minute here. I'm the one who's in control of my reality. What reality am I going to consciously create for myself? And think about this. If you could learn to be comfortable, because some people really aren't comfortable with that sense of inner knowing, if you could learn to become comfortable and really trust your inner knowing, your wisdom, and take action from that place, you would be creating a different reality for yourself. But it's about having the courage to go within and listen to that wisdom. It means having faith that you have the power. You have the power within you to create your life the way that you desire, despite what others say, think, or do. And that's what it means to fully participate in your life. So think about it this way, and I love this little metaphor. When you believe it's going to rain, do you carry an umbrella in order to participate in the rain or to avoid it? Yes, you will think twice when you pick up that umbrella the next time. Am I participating or avoiding? Because many of you are avoiding instead of fully participating in life. When you believe in the possibilities of change and you can embrace change and you know that you have the power to change in your mind, you start to participate in the quantum field of possibilities for your life. And then you become the manager of your environment. But it means letting go and being willing to discover, uncover, and release those limiting beliefs. And it's very interesting. Meditation is a great way to discover your limiting beliefs. Because all this stuff comes up, right? You're in such a relaxed state. It allows for these other things to show up, and you can observe them and look at them. And on Wednesday night, in the meditation on Wednesday night is remarkable. It doesn't matter who's running it. It is remarkable because it's enough time to really sink in and really get into that spaciousness. So for me, on Wednesday night, actually I was leading it, and I was doing a visioning meditation. So I was asking questions. And one of the questions was, towards the end, what do you need to let go of? This is like not on the material world. This is in your consciousness. I was so shocked by what showed up. I was so shocked. I'm like, where the heck did that come from? But what showed up, and so I'm going to put myself out there, what showed up was, let go of the belief that you don't belong here. And I'm like, what? New for me, new. And I went, oh. And then I started contemplating, like, why might that have shown up? Well, aside from the fact that I was born illegitimately, might have something to do with it. Could have taken on a whole bunch of stuff around that. But it was such a, it was so illuminating to get to that deep hidden subconscious belief that I didn't know was there. I went, okay, I'm willing to release it. I'm willing to let that go because I love being here. Not just here, but I love being in life. But I do love being here too. I do. I love being here. This is like such an amazing spiritual home. But I love life, and I love the life I'm living. So yeah, do I want to fully belong in it? Absolutely. Absolutely. And so to make that shift in my mind opens me up to so many possibilities. And that's what saying yes to change is about. What subconscious belief is lying down there that's driving all the habits, right? The thoughts that then create the actions, that create the emotions and create the experiences. It's like, oh, let it go. Let it go. Raymond Charles Barker, for any of you who don't know who he was a contemporary of Ernest Holmes. He has written the book, The Power of Decision, which I think we might have a few copies. It is a brilliant book. I'm starting to reread it from beginning to end again. Such a good book. And he says in The Power of Decision, correct mental work is easy. It's easy because you are in alignment with who you are. Laborious thinking indicates the need for a decision. Such thinking fatigues the mind and lessens the sharpness of the mental process. So what are you laboring over in your own mind? Let it go. Let it go. Laborious thinking can be stopped if you will do some reviewing of your desire, your goal, and your decision. Simplify your thinking down to basics. Contemplate the goal as already accomplished. This is consciously creating your future. And then he goes on to say, you will discover a new wave of fresh thinking sweeping into your consciousness. Now, simplifying your thinking is the same as simplifying your life. And if any of you have seen the documentary, The Minimalist, oh, so good, so good. The Minimalist was, it's a whole movement now started by these two guys that wanted to live a meaningful life. And so they started to simplify and live very minimally. And in watching the documentary, they really talk about how we as a community are so fixated on having more, getting more, getting more, getting more, to find some shred of happiness. And that getting more, and then in the documentary, they show people on like Black Friday or whatever those days are, where people charge through shopping malls and they're tripping over each other. But it's like they're trying to get more for a little more happiness, which doesn't make them happy. And then they've got to go and get more. And so this is about releasing all of that. They actually have a bag that you can buy, that you can put your entire belongings in a bag and live out of that bag. But it's sort of like where the tiny house movement came along and became part of that. And it's all around simplifying. But what was so great about that documentary was also recognizing that people had to simplify their minds. They had to change their whole way of thinking in order to live this minimalist life, and a very simple life, yet a very fulfilling life. So it might be a documentary you want to watch. It's on Netflix. So I invite you this week to consider a habit that you have, a thinking habit. Become aware of it and consider changing it. Consider stepping into something new, even though, and I think it was in Judy's meditation, how sometimes saying yes to change and stepping into something new is uncomfortable. I don't have my familiar stuff all around me. And yet, when we're willing to move through the uncomfortableness and come out on the other side, there's space. And there's space for peace and space for happiness. And there's space for intimate, heart-loving connections with people. And there's space for joy and fun and play. And that's what we're here for. So I'm going to finish off with a little Lucy and Charlie Brown dialogue. And remember the little cartoons, and they had the psychiatry booth? Lucy was in the psychiatry booth. Well, one Saturday afternoon over the back fence, without the psychiatric booth, discussing the future of the world, Lucy said, "If I were in charge of the world, I would change everything." And Charlie said, "Gee, that would be pretty hard to do. Where would you start?" And Lucy said, "I would start with you, Charlie Brown." So it all starts with you. Say yes to change. Namaste. And it's time for the baskets to go by. We're going to sing Circulate, so I invite you to stand up. Circulate my love and circulate my joy.
Woo-hoo. Everybody ready to circulate your abundance? I didn't hear you. All right, I want you guys to sing this with me.
Alrighty. Let's just hear it. Don't give me a tempo. I'm going to give you a tempo.
When we get started.
1, 2, 3.
Circulate my love right now. Circulate my love. Let me hear you sing it. Circulate my love right now. Circulate my love. Circulate my love right now. Circulate my love. Come on now. Circulate my love right now. Circulate my love. And in return, return to me. Multiply abundantly. Oh, circulate my joy right now. Circulate my joy. Circulate my joy right now. Circulate my joy. Oh, circulate my joy right now. Circulate my joy. Yeah, circulate my joy right now. Circulate my joy. And in return, return to me. Multiply abundantly. Circulation across the nation. It's a love vibration around the world and beyond. Yeah.
Come on up.
Yes, I
Go for it, Nick.
recognize the source of all this abundance, all the abundance in the world, the divine love that it comes from, and I'm grateful for all the gifts that everyone has given to this center to make it vibrant and alive. And I acknowledge the intention, the good intention that everyone has offered with these gifts. I'm grateful for this show of abundance and love, and I release the word to the law. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
Circulate my gift right now. Circulate my gift. 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 And it returns to me. Multiply abundantly. Oh, and it returns to me. Multiply abundantly. Oh, circulate.
Oh, I want to say thank you, Raquel, Hannah. Thank you so much. And thank you to the band, Brendan, Swanson, Dominic, Alex, Wes, and Carrie. They rock. They're so great. So great. Thank you to Kim on camera, to Cohen on sound, to Tony for your hospitality this morning and greeting, for Margaret Ann in the Live Well store, for Tasha for cleaning up, and of course, thank you to Judy for her beautiful meditation, Nick, your wonderful words of wisdom, and Linda, who's sneaking off to the back there, is our community practitioner. If you want treatment, go and see Linda after service, and thank you to all of you. And we're going to kick it off for this long weekend with Happy.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. Say, I'm a hot air balloon. I can float to Spain with the air like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a room. Clap along if you know that happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness means to you, yeah. Clap along if you feel like that's what you wanna do. Say, bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. My love is too high to bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. Oh, 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 bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. My love is too high to bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. Say yeah. Oh, 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 yeah. Anybody out there feeling happy? Yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. Say it. Oh, say it. Because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Clap along if you know that happiness is the truth. Yeah, yeah. Clap along if you know what happiness means to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Clap along if you feel like that's what you wanna do. Yeah. Can't nothing down, can't nothing bring me down. My love is too high to bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. Oh, yeah. Can't need down, can't nothing bring me down. My love is too high to bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. Oh, happy, yeah. You guys go out, bring love to the world, celebrate. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
1, 2, 3.